Shall we just pray for a moment? Lord, my prayer is that you will speak to us, either through me or in spite of me, but that we will hear your voice and that we will go out empowered and exhorted by your voice and your word. Amen. A dream to die for. History is filled with people who have dreamed big dreams. The dream of a defeated man called Abraham Lincoln who said, "I think I will run for president." And then there's a dream of the nun named Sister Teresa who said, "I want to touch a poor child in Calcutta." History will never be the same since the dream of a young Indian man named Gandhi who thought there must be another way to regain our country from the British. Yet, dreams are not just for those whose dreams make them famous. There are all kinds of everyday people, dreamers like you and me, who dream that somehow, somewhere, some way, our lives might make a difference in this world. There's a downside to dreams as well. They are not always fulfilled, and indeed, they sometimes crash and burn. What an incredibly painful thing it is when dreams die. Somewhere in most of our lives, there's at least one dream that fell apart. Some broken dreams may have to do with major issues like changing the direction of our lives. Others are simply temporary inconveniences. We all have been there. Today, we commemorate the life of someone who had a dream. The dream that had become the heartbeat of Henry Appenzeller. And that dream was huge. And after today's service, we will have the Appenzeller Forum, where we will commemorate the life of Henry Appenzeller, who was also called the Wesley of Korea. We know on Easter morning, it was Easter Sunday, April 5th, 1885, the history of Korea changed forever. The country was not aware of that then. Life went on as usual, with everyone minding his own business, doing his own thing, and yet God was intervening with the arrival of three people that he would use as mighty instruments, far beyond their own dreams, far beyond their own expectations. People whose work, life, and contributions to this part of the world can never be underestimated. They were Underwood, the pioneer Presbyterian missionary, and Henry and Ella Appenzeller, the pioneer Methodist missionaries. It was said that the prayer Henry Appenzeller prayed was the following: "May him whom this day burst the bars of the tomb bring light and liberty to Korea." And indeed, how it did. In spite of shaky beginnings, it took these pioneers a few months to begin their mission in earnest. They had a bold vision to convert a nation, to establish values of independence and democracy and modernization for Korea, and to win people for Christ. Well, the first decade was filled with political turmoil, personal demands, conflict, and much more. In September 1900, he was ordered home for medical reasons. His weight had dropped from 180 to 131 pounds. And Scranton described him in this way: the Appenzeller some of us knew 20 years ago, he was in bent in form, worn in features, and an old man through the only middle life. And then, in June 1902, 11th of June, he was due to sail to the south for a meeting of the Bible Translation Committee. And about 10 o'clock, the ship where he was sailing in was rammed by a sister ship. Others escaped, but Appenzeller's was lost as the ship sank swiftly. It was told that he was trying to save a Korean woman and a little girl. He was 44. He fulfilled his own prophecy where he said, "I shall probably go to heaven from the hermit kingdom. It's no less near there than in America." His death, however, did not end his influence. A dream to die for. He died. But did his dream die? No, not at all. Not at all. Today we have read two parts of God's word. We have read this part from Zechariah and also the Hebrew lesson. In the New Testament lesson, we read Hebrews 12, the most encouraging passage about the cloud of witnesses. In Hebrews 11, the writer gives a brief account of these witnesses. All dreamers, all visionaries, people filled with the inner vision, a burning passion, and a committed purpose. In Old Testament reading, we read about a person, Zerubbabel. It reminds me of the dreamers of the Bible. Summarizing what happened before this part in Zechariah, Babylon had been destroyed Israel and all their cities, walls and temple. It was a disaster. And Zerubbabel was given the assignment to rebuild the wall and the temple. God gave him a calling, a vision, a mission. So he started. The first phase was completed. First phase of rebuilding the altar. And then the second stage of laying the foundation of the temple. And then the dream came to a halt. There was opposition from inside and outside. And for many years, he couldn't finish what he had started. He got stuck. And then this incredible exhortation from God, a word from God, right there in his stuckness, if we can have a word like that. Zerubbabel, don't stop. Carry on. It's not only your dream, but it's God's dream. Don't let your dream die. There are a few lessons that I learned from the dreamers, the visionaries of the past. There are four things. The first, their dreams were marked by an inner vision and calling. We all dream. We all have our dreams of maybe big things in our lives, becoming famous or achieving great things. But what I learned from these people is that they were driven by an inner vision and a calling. Painfully aware of this, their dreams were not fired by personal ambition, but by a calling. Looking at the life of him whose life we commemorate today, Henry Appenzeller was not at the center of his own dream when he prayed that prayer. Sometimes we get it so dismally wrong with our own dreams. I cannot fathom for one moment that Reverend Appenzeller took some walk along the shores of Korea, dreaming that he will be one day revered like this. I think he would be greatly and humbly surprised if he was here today. His dream was sparked by an inner vision, a passion, a calling. May him whom this day burst the bars of the tomb bring light and liberty to Korea. Light and liberty. That was his dream. That was his vision. The same with Zerubbabel. For him and the Jews, the rebuilding of the temple was a matter of life and death. Not his name, not his own legacy, but the temple. Mother Teresa, the same, the inner calling. Not the sainthood that might be bestowed upon her. The inner calling. Friday, I went to Ewa University campus, and while I was walking around there, I was drinking in the beauty of that campus and enjoying the bustling life sprouting from that campus. And once again, I realized that this was the offspring of the very people that we are commemorating today. This was the outcome of a dream, far beyond themselves. But a dream that was fueled, a dream that was sparked by a calling, an inner calling. Secondly, the dream was fueled by a burning passion. That was indeed the story of Appenzeller. It was a passion that consumed him. We mentioned about his physical deterioration, that he lost weight. It was not a cheap dream. A dream that will achieve something, a dream that will come true. A God dream is not a cheap dream. Your dream will cost you something. Sometimes we dream cheap dreams. We want to get it all. We want to achieve the great things without paying the price. For him, and if I look back in the Old Testament and the New Testament, they had dreams that were fueled by burning passions, dreams that were costly. John Knox, the great reformer, prayed this prayer: "Give me Scotland, or else I'll die." A burning passion. Thirdly, a committed purpose. A committed purpose. Appenzeller had it. Paul had it. Zerubbabel had it. Jesus had it. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Once again, big dreamers were not at the center of their own dreams. The dream did not revolve around themselves. It was something much bigger. It was something that transcended themselves. But then I see in most of these dreamers, a common thing in most of them is that they had a dream to die for. Well, it's a bit of a contrast, isn't it? Strangely, something that appears in the lives and dreams of great people is this: for a dream to be fulfilled, it first had to die. And that's the principle of sowing seed. If you sow a seed, the seed will first of all die. If you ask a farmer, he will say to you, that seed will die before it will do anything, before it will really live. Joseph, Moses, Paul, all of them saw their dream die. It was 11th of June that Henry Appenzeller passed away. Once again, we ask the question, did the dream die? No. It was indeed a dream to die for, a dream to get immersed in like a seed to die so that the harvest can grow. In conclusion, I was wondering, if I look back on the life of Henry Appenzeller with that dream that God might do a mighty work in this country, I was wondering, isn't it time for a second Appenzeller to emerge? Isn't it time? Who knows? Who knows if I'm preaching today to an Appenzeller? God wants to raise someone with a dream, with a passion, someone with a dream to die for. Yes, Korea has changed. It's modernized, it's beautiful. But I think we are facing challenges equal to those maybe 100 years ago, just in a different form. And it's good, it's fantastic to look back and learn from these people of God. But I was wondering, isn't it time for God maybe to raise up another Appenzeller with a burning passion, not to build a huge, big church with thousands of people, no. But for the glory of God to come, for the kingdom of God to come, with a gospel of radical love, extravagant love, a gospel of healing. A man, maybe a woman, a young man, a young daughter, who can say, God, it's not about me. But if you want to use me where I am, I'm willing to dream the dream to die for. Personal dreams are not wrong. We have to have personal dreams. It's good. But maybe God is looking for someone to say, God, here I am. Let your glory